Hey, this is Danger Man. I'm here with Winter from Valken. He is their head gun tech, and he is a guru when it comes to working on markers.
No, rockstar.
You got it. Okay. Start over?
No, that's fine.
I guess I've been corrected. So the bottom line is, he is going to show you how to disassemble your proton and reassemble, and along the way you're going to get some really cool information about paintball markers in general. You're going to learn a lot. So this is going to be a series. I'm going to make a full video download available to you at the end. So if you want to download it and put it on your smartphone or your PC as a repair video that you can save for later, we're going to do that for you too. Let's go.
And away we go.
All right, what we have is a Proton, Valken Proton. What I'm going to show you today is a basic breakdown of the gun, and it's very simple. For the most part, all you're going to need is Allen keys. I suggest a good Allen key, not something you find in the couch. Basically, we're going to start everything off with what everybody has problems with, every electronic gun, and that is the battery. The battery is located in the grip here. You're going to use a 5/64 Allen key. It's on the left side of the gun grip. Roll out the Allens. Fold your grip back. I like to fold it actually under the trigger guard. Your battery. Now, as you can see in there, the battery sits right underneath of the main solenoid. That's 90% of the problems in an electronic gun. All right. To go a little bit further with this, what we're going to do today is we're going to leave that battery in there right now, and I'm going to pull the engine out of it. This one is one of the early prototypes. On the back of the guns that are already in production, there is a 5/32 Allen key head in the back of the cap. All right. With this one, we made it so it's got nice 3 blades on it. You should be able to just turn it out by hand.
This is good for in-game?
This is good for, no, not in-game, because you have to have air off.
Okay.
And that's it. Your entire drive engine is sitting right here, right now. As you can see, very compact. Bolt tip, right here in this assembly. Floating can, and the rest of your engine. We're going to put that off to the side for the time being. Now, really, this is a lineless gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually start where the air comes in. That's at the ASA assembly.
When you say lineless, to the new person that's just picked this gun up and is in love with it but doesn't know, what does that mean to them?
That means that there is no external air line going into the solenoid as the older guns are. What we have basically is an air passage that comes in. The tank attaches to the ASA here with the on-off knob. It goes up into the grip, through the back of the grip, and then comes into the porting. And you'll see that when I drop the grip away here. And that fills this back can. And that starts the cycle of the gun, the firing cycle. This is important. And as you can see me going for the Allen keys here, I'm going to take a 3/32 Allen key, and I'm going to pull the ASA off for you guys. These 2 locking nuts right here, 3/32. Oops. You just have to loosen them. You don't have to take them all the way out. So 2 or 3 turns should suffice. And your ASA slides off. On the base of this, you'll see here, this O-ring is important. And I'll pick that out for you. This O-ring actually seats and seals the air passage going up through the grip. Without that, you've got a leak. If you ever have any problems and you feel that that's coming out of there, open your grip up. Make sure that your ASA is pretty much centered on there, and make sure they're tightened down. Don't over crank it, just tighten it till you get some good resistance on. Now, as you can see here, I've got the ASA off. There's 2 locking pins in here that when you screw these down, that'll lock the ASA in place. Remember, you have to keep that centered. Make sure that O-ring is down in the trench. On the front of it, while we have this open, you could also see the front of the regulator. That's where you change your velocity at, of course, and that's a 1/8 Allen key. We're not going to get into that right now, but if there's any problems with this, this is where the reg seat's located. It's also where the spring is for the main regulator. Everything's down in there. And actually, while we got it open and you're looking, if you need to access this, there's a couple things that you need. You need a 7/16 SAE wrench, and that goes on the front of the reg cap. That'll break away easily.
So if it wasn't for this, you could part this baby all the way down with Allen wrenches.
Yep. And you can see it sits in the grip pretty well, so thought about your comfort there. The reg cap will come out, and as you can see, these guys will fly all over. Those are the posts for your ASA. You got your reg spring and your reg pistons in there. That does have an O-ring on it, but the way we oil these guns, you should never have to pull that out, grease it, and oil it. That'll be done when you oil it through the ASA. Put that back together. One important thing, if you can get in on this, you'll see there's a C-clip in there. Lock and clip. What this does is it will stop you from taking the adjuster all the way out. If you do that, you're going to start blowing air everywhere. That little clip's going to stop you. Once you feel resistance, that's as far as you're going. So we'll just put that back in there.
Now for those who know nothing about markers and they're glad to have this video, what will turn the feet per second up, which direction, and which will turn it down?
For feet per second, to get your velocity up, 1/8 inch Allen key. On this marker, clockwise is actually down, counterclockwise is up. So, clockwise is down, counterclockwise raises your velocity. And we're going to put that from dead stop, 1 full turn out. That should get you into the 260, 270 range. 1 full turn. And as you can see, I've got schmutz in there because this is my gun and it's been used a lot. Alright, before we go any further, we're going to make sure that these little guys, they go in here. You'll see that later when I'm putting it back together. Alright, so we have our parts here. What I'm going to do now is one of the most important things with this gun. I've seen it and I've seen it and I've seen it. Again, this is one of the earliest guns. This is number 4. On most of the guns out there, there will be printing right here. That printing says, remove trigger first before disassembling frame. There's a reason for this, and we're going to go over that in a minute. To remove the trigger, you have the Allen head right here. It's another 1/8. Goes in. Pull the trigger connecting pin out, and the whole trigger will come out as a unit. You have the trigger spring, and your trigger set screws are in here also. So we're just going to, and as you can see, it's a nice bearing trigger. Put that in there. Without doing that, you will damage the solenoid. I know you will damage the solenoid because in prototype production, I damaged the solenoid. So, I'm not perfect, I'm just really good, but I do make mistakes. Now, as for taking the grip off, I suggest a 1/8 inch L key, please.
Why would anybody want to take the grip off?
Well, just in case you get paint down in the trenches, and you'll see why in a minute, if you get paint on the activator switch. It could be for just cleaning. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the battery, and it's a nice tight fit. Because you guys like small guns. Battery comes out. Always take the battery out from the bottom end first. Do not rip it out from the top end. You can damage the contacts. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the power connector off the power board, and you can see there's a small board in there.
Wow.
This power board and this connector connects to the main board. You're going to see that in a minute. Flip the gun over. We're going to break these screws away first. The first screw that you must take out is the one at the front of the frame.
When people are retightening these screws, how tight would you suggest? Hand tight?
Hand tight. I mean, to your comfort level, don't kill it. So the first screw comes out. You'll see it's got a nice wide head on it. Very, very beefy screw. Second one, as you notice as I'm unscrewing this, the body lifts away from the frame, or the frame lifts away from the body, excuse me. And there's a reason for that. So, make sure both of our screws are loosened. You always loosen front frame screw first, then the rear. Make sure your power lead's unplugged. Gently wiggle it out. Allow that to come away. Here's the reason you have to take the trigger out. This is your trigger actuation switch. The trigger can and will get hung up on this. If you don't drop that trigger away, you will damage that. And as you can see, pretty light. And another thing you guys are asking me about, and I get emails about this constantly, is these are what are known as trench screws. They actually sit in a little slot in the frame. This one's just been in there for so long I actually can't get it out. But these screws will, there we go, maybe. These screws should be able to slide out, and then when you're ready to reconnect, slide back in. But as you can see, you get debris and paint and nastiness in there. So in case you do have to drop it away, that's how you do that. Alright, we're going to take this, put this off to the side for a moment. Next is getting the foregrip away. Really easy. Again, 1/8 inch. You can use an L key or a T handle. Wow, I put that on there good. I actually over tightened that a little bit. Now, when you pull this off, again, this is a slotted screw. Just pull straight away. Screw drops out. And then you have your navigation consoles. You have your I button here. Your mode button is the lower part. Again, very straightforward, very straight ahead. Nice logo. I love that logo. What you have right now is, and there you go. I just broke the spring on it.
Wow.
I just did that because I wasn't paying attention. That's okay. I'll make another. And this is actually a first run gun.
Now, when somebody does make that terrible mistake, what's going to happen in terms of how they contact Valken for a replacement part?
You can contact me at winter@valken.com. And basically we have the parts here. We'll get it out to you. Which is kind of cool because now I can show you how to change that on your own. So it's a little fortuitous. What we're sitting here right now is we're looking at the lower board. Okay. Which is also known as the main board. And you can see your mode switch, your I switch. The dip switches are in here. These are tournament lockout and tournament modes. If you flip it over, this is called your sensor board. We'll pull that off there. Put that over to the side. This is the sensor board. You have your sensor board. This is your main power on-off switch. You have your power connector here. And you have your fiber ribbon, which actually runs to your solenoid. Alright, and there's another board on the solenoid. Now, since I was kind enough to break my own gun for you guys, and we've got it apart already, I'm going to show you the breakdown on the solenoid. Again, 5/64 Allen key. There's two mounting screws here and here. and they are rather long.
And we're at a point now where if somebody's getting to the solenoid, it's because they're replacing it?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, you could do some minor maintenance to this, but with the way, as I said, the gun is set up, move this power cable out of the way. Ribbon cable, very careful with this, because if you rip it, we have to replace it. Just pulls out of the slot.
It's too much for any man.